Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a rotation battle against Zach. I decided to do a rotation battle because nobody ever does them. Because they're kind of annoying as hell. But I kind of am somewhat decent at them. So, yeah. So right off the bat, I had O'Brien out, and he had Ninetales, so I swapped into Leaky Tube and took a Fire Blast. But of course I got the Burn Hacks right off the bat. Luckily though, I don't have any physical attacks, so that's not going to be horrendous. And I managed to take Ninetales out with a Hydro Pump Ball. Excellent. And I recover some leftovers damage, though that's going to be immediately taken away by the burn, but oh well, at least I won't get as hurt by the burn now. So, Zach sends out Torterra. What a cool starter. I like it. I was on Team Torterra, and I still am for the Sinnoh starters. So I decided to get off the burn just to, you know. And when we were actually doing the battle, he was like, I'm hoping it doesn't have Levitate, and I just didn't. And because he said that out loud, I didn't switch, because, yeah, it does have Levitate. Sorry, Zach. That's why you don't think out loud, friend. So we both get hurt by our burns, and I go for the swap. I figure, okay, well anyway, he was getting pretty pissed now, because now I switched into something that resisted that. But what I wanted to do was set up some entry hazards, because that's all O'Brien is there for, and if I wait too long, he's not going to have any more Pokemon to get entry hazarded anyway. So now he's going to go for the Earthquake, which still does, like, no damage. And I decide to go for the attack, because I guess might as well, you know? So that does decent amount of damage. He takes burn damage on top of that, so he's dying. And then he goes into Sceptile, and that Mega Evolves. Which, of course, that would quad resist a Power Whip. And he misses me with a Screech, and I didn't use Power Whip, because I might have expected shenanigans like that. So I went in for the Spikes, just to get more entry hazards out there. And then I send in Metagross, because he can take Grass or Dragon, but he actually goes for Bug, X-Scissor, but that still does very little damage, and I nail it with a Meteor Mash. And he tries to use Screech, but Clear Body prevents that from working. So now I'm going to use Earthquake, just because both of his grass types are low enough health that it'll still kill them, and then it's super effective against the Luxray. So it does take out the Sceptile. I went through hell and back getting this video to the point where I could record it like this. I did an update on my computer, and I should have learned my lesson from iTunes or Facebook and Snapchat, that updates just make them progressively worse. But I still updated, but at least here it is now. But you don't want to hear me complain. For me to complain, you'd watch a battle against Spencer. Anyway, so Feraligatr used Superpower, which took and caused it to take massive damage from Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet. And it lowered its defense, so I was easily able to kill it with a super effective Power Whip. Now out comes Flygon, who's going to take a tiny bit of Stealth Rock damage. And he's going to hit me with an Earthquake. I was hoping not to lose any Pokemon, but that's not the case. O'Brien fell to the Earthquake, so I bring out Tickle Balls, my fairy. Out comes Luxray, who should be a Dark type. He goes for the charge. And I go for the Hyper Voice, which should be super effective since it should be a Dark type, but since it's not, it hangs on, and it goes for the Spark, which is charged up for extra damage. I still hang on though, I managed to take it down with a Hyper Voice. I get some leftover damage right back. And Flygon comes back, but I swap into Rotom just to be sure it doesn't kill me. So I flinch and can't move. Recover some leftovers damage, I'm going to take some burn damage. And now I go for the Hydro Pump, because I know that'll... Well, both of them are ground types, so I can't use Thunderbolt. And Hydro Pump takes out that Torterra. Now he's down to just Flygon, who should be able to Mega Evolve. Come on, Game Freak, get over your artist block and make us Mega Flygon. That's a stupid-ass excuse. So Mega Flygon comes out. I swap into Tickle Balls to take its Dragon move with no damage and finish it off with a Fairy-type pixelated Hyper Voice. And that's the match.